I should say. Instead, I want to lay service to my beautiful country, and even carry the legacy of our fathers and grandfathers, and share the knowledge I have seen abroad. Governments perform, and they work properly, and people are happy. At this level, I am seeing a lot of ignorance. So many people, especially from opposition, they think to be opposition, you oppose everything. And just insulting the personality of the president or this government, you think now you are the most opposition leader. We are actually at the verge of changing the narrative. We are saying, no, that's not politics. That's not about being opposition. I even have written a book, Reforms in Leadership, that I'm about to launch. It's not cheap, so I don't want people to think it is cheap for everybody. No, it's for only people who want to change their lives.
Then how will you share information? You're going to keep it with the people that will afford to buy your book?
I am not church, and I am not an NGO. Knowledge is bought. You have to seek for knowledge. It is expensive. So people who want, they are free to buy the book, or they don't, and they stay wherever in the status they are in.
You're talking of government performance, and you have referred to governments that are performing in the countries that you have visited. What do you think affects the performance of government in Uganda? What is that niche that you can point at? Something that you think, the touch that is missing to see government performance? We can even take a wider, broader look at the African continent, because we have the same problems that we don't see in the countries that you're talking about. What do you think affects governance performance in our countries or in our country?
There are a number of issues, and they are workable, and they have been late. Those are the reforms I'm talking about. First of all, the mentality and mindset of the people, especially in Uganda and black African countries, to be precise. Africans love a blame game. They blame everything to someone else, or they blame someone else for their failures.
For whatever happens.
Yes. Nobody takes responsibility of their actions. Some people are saying I am poor because Mr. Museveni has made me poor. Can you imagine? And that's what the entire population is consuming. And we're asking you, what were you doing, or what are you doing that Mr. Museveni has stopped? You see? People are saying, and they are fed with wrong information. And people, again, they are always criticizing. People are analysts, they are judges, they are everything. You find that people who have no knowledge, you have given them opportunities to criticize and give opinions on even things they don't know. Ugandans love to talk about everything. They talk a lot and they do less. So we are saying, please, we need reforms in anything that is existent in this country. And these reforms have delayed. We need to start now. It begins with me, with you. When you come to corruption, embezzling and swindling government funds, it is you, fellow Ugandans, even when the president doesn't know. And even, I am saying, people know what to do, they do the wrong thing instead. Government, even Mr. Museveni has put up several ways on how to curb and cripple corruption. But you, fellow Ugandans, our fathers, grandfathers, and sisters, you always compromise these systems and avenues. There are so many things that happen in this country, but in the actual sense, it is because of you who always manipulate these ideas. When you see the judicial service or judicial systems, you find that the judges and judicial officers know what to do. Police officers, senior men, they know what to do. CID, they are told what to do, what is right. But they tend to turn, for example, a civil matter into a criminal, and they disturb communities and extort. So we are saying, please, let everybody do the right thing. Changing the mindset first. Do you know that the voters have been having a narrative in their head that you benefit from them? Therefore, having one vote is equivalent to thousands of money.
What is the role of a government in a country?
Government, first of all, it's a group of people which involves you, me, your sister, your relative. So many people think government is a big man with 10 eyes, with a tail, with a big gun, and a bag of money. Government is you. When you look at ministries, departments, these are our brothers and sisters working there. They are given responsibilities. They are entrusted with the knowledge, officers, to at least assist the president and this government.
In the sense of a social contract.
Yes.
That group of people signs with me, the voter.
Yes.
Really, do you blame me if I ask questions? Does a government have a role to play when it comes to handling corruption, sorting poverty, and clearing all those problems?
Yes,
Why do you call it a blame game when a voter asks questions where he or she pays taxes?
A voter is a victim and also an encroacher at another level. For example, whom do you call a voter? Everybody is a voter.
Yes.
So we are saying Ugandans at every point they are corrupt. But when they go somewhere else where they are being also snitched, then also they complain. You find that, for example, I'll give you live examples. In Ministry of Lands, by public service, you gazette these jobs and people are given jobs on merit. And you find that every registrar commissioner in their respective offices, they make their mandate or service difficult to the population intentionally. And they make sure they extort money from the public and they enrich themselves.
Who has to come in?
It is you.
No. Who has to come in to clear that mess in the Ministry of Lands? Because actually, I'm not hearing it for the first time. All of us know. But who do you think has the mandate and the responsibility to come and arrest Lukomwa, Luzi, Kamujisha, or whoever is messing up procedures in the Ministry of Lands?
It's not about arresting. It is about immunizing the situation. We should do more of immunizing than treating. Like I've said, the reason why we've come with this kind of leadership,
Yes.
to change the mindset of the people and bring proper people that are sober, that are not excited, to think for this country and immunize all those kind of ways of corruption and many other mismanagement. For example, we are saying any member of parliament or the parliament is one of the biggest concern and a responsible department or arm of government in shaping this government and the mentality by bringing up proper, realistic laws and policies. That's why we say equality or qualities of members of parliament is very paramount. Whereby, first of all, we are saying as a solution, as an immediate solution done by people who are sober in parliament, we should first of all eliminate the permanent and pensionable structure in any of these job applications. Government tends to give civil servants, or public servants, a permanent job, whereby you are also pensionable.
Yes.
Every government employee at one way or another, even they corrupt people, bribe to get those jobs. Even if it is paying moderately, they know that they can buy that job, get to at least the payroll, and at the end of the day, their reasoning is to curb into that pot and extort and find ways of...
I want us to first agree on something.
Yes.
In your submissions and your view of governance and its problems, you seem to exonerate the body we call government from the mess in the land.
Yes.
And you're blaming it on the ordinary voter.
Not ordinary voter.
Yes.
Ordinary voter is also a person in government, by the way. I've said government is people. These are your brothers, your sisters.
The ordinary voter signs it.
Who is an ordinary voter?
Yes.
Even the registrar in Ministry of Lands, who is doing all this nonsense, the department, the commissioners, in any other government installation, these are voters. So we are not saying they are better voters and lower voters. Voters, every senior and serious Ugandan is a voter. But we are saying we should bring contractual obligations and the workforce. Every government employee should be given, we are trying to immunize, a 2-year contract, renewable upon appraisals, performance, and meeting targets. So that even if you have not performed properly, they will not renew your contract. So you will always be working to make sure you meet targets, you impress the customers or clients, so that at the end of the 2 year, you have something chasing you.
Do you really think that is somewhere or anyhow connected to the corruption and the misbehavior in the ministries?
Definitely, yes. Definitely. Because people know that I'm employed and I can't be chased or even stopped. Even at some cases where there are several complaints, the president has tried to bring up avenues of curbing these corrupt individuals. And at the end of the day, such individuals, they can take the president to court and they are awarded even exorbitant rewards or fines or whatever, compensation, and even reinstated elsewhere. Because the law is saying permanent and pensionable. You understand? So we are saying if we remove that switch, So many people will work always to meet targets and also avoid such violence.
In the countries where governments are performing in service delivery, we have permanent and pensionable civil servants. How come there we see civil servants that are serving the people, right?
Yes.
And it is a problem with us here.
Yeah, the mindset of such countries, or people in such countries, is a little bit enlightened. So the challenges we are having, the mindset of our people, especially black African countries, they are still washed, they are still backward. Such has not yet been achieved. So we are saying, when we bring a self-checking system, like a 2-year contract revolving, we are going to find that people are going to be at least encouraging and supervising themselves. Number two, also we are saying every country, if it's a multi-party system, they are called regimes. Every regime that comes should give jobs to its cadres, children of cadres, and mobilizers. These people who mobilize for their government, okay, they tend to have at least a mind of developing and making sure they do best to sustain that government. So in the event they fail to do the mandate of the voters, they are being voted out and another system comes. So I urge the NRM government, if at all it is voted, much as it's going to be voted overwhelmingly, according to these indicators, we are saying they should abolish those civil servants that tend to work for government, cripple government, and at the end, all the blame comes to government and Mr. Museveni.
A government sits on 3 pillars. There is that legislature where you want to go. It's the one that formulates the laws and comes up with the laws. Then we have the executive, the judiciary, which interprets. Then we have the executive, which has to execute and implement.
Supervise.
Exactly. Yes. Where do you think the failure is?
Why I say among the 3 arms of government,
who is sleeping on the job?
It is Parliament. That's why we are saying we are having a gullible Parliament. First of all, the number is too big. They are busy arguing. Many don't know the roles of an MP. Can you imagine? I've been agitating for at least reforms in the, even in how people are voting. I'm even suggesting that we are going to introduce a law in the event I'm elected. I'll bring a proposal and even at least a bill, private members' bill. I will show that for sure, for purposes of proper quality leaders in Parliament, at least people who should be able to vote for president and even the level of a member of Parliament, they should be degree holders. The majority of the people simply vote for the sake of what someone has given you, because of tribe, because of...
You see, but Parliament, in its current form, it has given you the laws. We know how an MP is voted. We know how civil servants are recruited. They have put in place acts of Parliament, the public accounts, whatever public service acts. They have given you all that in their problematic state. Who is sleeping on the job that we don't see these laws getting loose from the Ministry of Lands, getting Lukomwa from the local government ministry, swindling money or doing what?
It is better, according to me, to bring preventive measures. For example, when we have a 2-year revolving contracts for every civil servant, every system is renewed every after 2 years. Self-checking. You cannot be there to inspect everybody, but this one they will be self-inspecting themselves, like the system itself. Then when you bring cadres, I'm telling you the opposition is supposed to look and be the mirror of what this government is doing. And in the event such mobilizers or cadres or government employees, in that event they are subscribing to that government or party, definitely in the event they don't perform well, they will be voted out. We are expecting, at least if NUP or any other party comes in, they will be giving or supposed to at least employ foot soldiers in those respective offices. Reason being, it is very hard for a foot soldier who has mobilized for his government or its government to find that instead they are doing the negative, because they will be fearing to be voted out. We want to employ such avenues like countries that we are at least taking the benchmark, like the US. You find that the majority of the people, they are not necessarily considering the winner of the presidents and some of these governors. Indeed, such an avenue is, at least needs to be employed here.
Have you looked at the applicability of recruiting cadres in civil service? First of all, the law of equal opportunities will not allow that. You get? Because when you are a teacher in a government public school, your tribe, your political party, your religion ceases to matter. What we want is a teacher.
But don't forget.
Yes.
Don't forget that we are in.
Do you teach better? Yes. Do you teach better because you are NRM?
Yeah, we are saying.
Will people get first grades in your class because you are part of the sitting government?
What we are saying.
Yes.
We don't forget we are in a multi-party system.
Yes.
We are saying that.
But we still have a country.
But still,
that we have to guard in a national sense.
Yes. When you are elected and it's a legitimate government, it should take care of every citizen irrespective of their political orientation.
Thank you.
But we are saying within your political party that has won, there are Ugandans that should occupy those offices so that in the event we are voting you out, let another regime come to serve Ugandans, not to serve the party. That's why we are saying your accreditation and be revoted definitely has to depend on performance. So we are saying among NRM, among NUP or opposition, there are Ugandans who are qualified to do their work irrespective of their tribe, religion or whatever.
In fact, a party is given an opportunity in our current system. All the ministers, if you became president, among your friends I may have a chance. If I'm a member of your party. If you give me a ministry of ICT, to handle the media that I understand properly. I am a cadre in your party. I supervise that whole sector. You'll get the Minister of Finance, your cadre. You get the Minister of Health, Minister of whatever. Actually, you have bigger people that are watching over these systems as ministers, supervising them. You get? If it was about cadres handling systems, why is it failing?
I differentiate between civil offices and political systems or offices. Can you imagine, every ministry has what they call technical people, and they are not basically subscribing to the political party they are serving. Lots of people that are serving government in public service, they are not even NRM people. They are given jobs on merit. So I should say they are people who are not feeling for this government, who are not feeling patriotic to the government serving, that are doing whatever they're doing for their sake, not for the sake of their party or their country. So we are saying it is very imperative for people to think and understand the value of giving jobs to people who love that party, that love, in the end they love their country. And I'm saying it is a mandate of every Ugandan, whether you are from opposition or from government or NRM, to serve Ugandans when you're given an office. In fact, people should know it. These are just teams or uniforms. But even if you wear such a yellow or red uniform, it doesn't mean that you only serve such people.
The two contractual employment bases that you're talking about, in the public service laws, there are punitive measures that check performance. You get? Don't you think we have only not employed them fully? Because a teacher has to be checked. Every district has an inspectorate of schools with inspectors. You get? Don't you think we're having these guys seated in the offices enjoying, having fun?
We say the mindset is all sleeping. And all the avenues of awakening, the appraisals of our employees and public servants is all down. We need to understand it is Ugandans, again, who compromise every system that they are bringing to cross-check them. You find that, for example, this is why we have even people who do intelligence and supervisors. They are the same people who go and pre-inform whoever they're supposed to cross-check about. Simply because every Ugandan is doing wrong. We are saying we build the systems not basing on individuals. That's what I'm saying. When we bring a law and we make a system that every government job is renewable every after 2 years, and it is renewable upon appraisal, performance, and meeting targets, you are going to find a self-checking system, and you find that people perform according to their targets. I'm telling you.
You blame these people and put them on a 2 years contractual basis when you have not facilitated them enough. Okay. You have had medical workers in the country, in the public system, complaining about being under-equipped, being under-facilitated, and things like that. So, really, can we blame the underperformance in the government line on the technical people, or someone is sleeping at the job somewhere?
Technical people, you find that there is someone responsible for making sure he does the procurements and distribution of such materials in time, and is not doing his work. And when you bring this 2-year contractual obligation, they cut across all from top to the bottom of all those actors in offices. And I'm telling you, every Ugandan is not doing what he's supposed to do. By choice, they tend to do the wrong instead of good, simply because there is no system. you find that, for example, this government, at several occasions, even like the distribution of these city schools, the introduction, the idea was good. Having failed to at least find advantages in providing a lot of sources to private schools, like the government-aided schools. Can you imagine Ugandans don't know that government was paying these private schools, religious-based organizations or schools, so that you, the parent and children, can pay little money into those good schools, because government didn't have enough schools by the time it came to power, okay? So instead, their fees and other charges are too high. Government is saying, what the hell is this? Then they say, let's devise a mean whereby we have our own land and we build our own buildings or installations.
Mm.
Can you imagine someone is seated in office and that money that is going to be used to build schools, those seed schools, across the country, is borrowed, others is free or grants. Someone, by just pending his pen on release of that money, is sitting in that office, is finding a way of crippling and meandering or even embezzling those funds. And so much of the money is not spent. So government is wondering why the money is there and there are no schools. Then at the end we are saying benchmarking. You find that schools that are built, they are as equal as at least kitchen pigeon houses or shelters. We are wondering, where do you get the benchmark of building such schools? And whereby even your child cannot even study from there. So we are saying we need to be serious. First of all, whoever is entitled and given the responsibility in an office, he should do what he's supposed to do. 2, we should have a benchmark of a certain school. Like me, I brought Churo schools in academies in South Africa. Let us adopt such a school in Uganda as a government.
And that should be the model for the whole nation.
Yes.
We are in a multi-party dispensation. You are standing with people that are sponsored by political parties. That is already strength enough for them. Where does this leave you?
I always say I don't subscribe to any party for now.
What does that mean in a political party dispensation?
I object to the narrative that they are properly funded. They are, first of all, struggling. They are poor. There is no party that is funding their candidates properly. I believe I'm the self-funded, most funded individual. And I am enjoying the gap. The gap is so big. 2, people are tired of political parties' ideologies. They bring more division than the advantages they would bring.
Really?
Yes. And also, it's a do or die for political party teams. I hate that narrative where I find that an NRM is fighting NUP or DP. It's like a do or die. People are forgetting from educating and sensitizing the population that it is about service and voluntary service to serve Ugandans. It is not a job or something that is a bonanza.
Does belonging
oriented.
to a political party stop you from serving your people?
Yeah, many people are chanting and worshipping their leaders. I am not party to that. First of all, when you find people from NRM, they are busy worshipping clothes and clapping for Mr. Museveni, instead of adding value and propelling his ideas. They are always intrigue and infighting to impress him as if they are all women. It will not matter everybody. Stop thinking that when you are an NRM, you are an idiot. So many laws are passed and policies that are not oriented with the livelihoods of our people. And you find that they are also crippled within those very set traps. Nonsense. I believe it's complete nonsense.
So you don't buy the political party's idea?
I don't. Even I believe they should all be abolished. In the event I'm elected, I will bring proposals to make sure we do a referendum, we reunite, we abolish this political dispensation and nonsense.
In your previous attempts to parliament, you belonged to DP sometime, and you carried the NRM flag sometime. So is this when political parties are annoyed you badly, that you don't even want to get closer to the idea of political parties?
I was part of the NRM.
Yes.
They were so strong. Even today, they could be so strong. But because of the disadvantages I'm talking about, infighting, competition for thuggery, so people go in there, everybody to seek for an opportunity to steal and even possibly go and extort Mr. Museveni.
You were a reformist. You told me you're a reformist.
Yes, I believe myself, when I was in those primaries, everybody was scared of me. They were thinking I'm going to take the platform from them. That's why they fought me, by the way. And I said, hey, Mr. NRM Babai, I went to the DP. when I went to the DP, they welcomed me with the grace. They loved me. They were very organized. Unfortunately, they don't have power. But at the end of the day, they were asking me about Mr. Mao and the agreement and the memorandum. I was like, hey, Mr. Voter, ask me what do you think is good I can do for this country. Don't ask me about other people. When I was in the NRM, they were asking me about Mr. Museveni, how he's killing our people, kidnapping our people. I was like, hey, look, do I look a kidnapper? Nonsense. I'll slap you, go away. So things like that made me hate political parties. They are always competing and living values and principles of developing this country. They are busy minding about political parties.
Can politics do away with competition? Political parties, again, the US is running politics on political parties. Go to the UK. These are countries that we all admire. The few democracies in Africa that are developing. Go to South Africa. Why do you think in Uganda we can't adopt?
Yeah, black African countries, they have a mentality of a mindset change. So many people, because of too many tribes, to attribute their knowledge politically and relationships based on tribe, religion, and things like that. When you look at such countries, they really mind about what you're talking and what you're bringing on table in the event you're elected to develop the country as a unifying factor. People don't have unifying factors. You find that if someone is not all suited to be a leader, but because he's NRM, many NRM people will vote.
He gets a free
ticket. Yeah, and I am objecting to that. Some people are claiming to be a NUP or NUP. Where will have umbrella ticking? Wherever you see an umbrella, you tick. Nonsense. At the end of the day, you end up bringing artists who simply don't know, or other misqualified individuals who don't fit to be members of parliament or leaders. At the end, Ugandans and black Africans tend not to understand the values of a leader. Like, for instance, the member of parliament, people don't know that the cardinal objectives of an MP, there are 4. One is to make and enact laws. You find someone who has no any knowledge about laws and is enacting laws. Which kind of laws are going to enact? Meaning nobody should be voted as long as he doesn't have any legal knowledge, you understand? Or even a degree, because at least in some course units, in many of these university courses, they involve some
administrative law.
Yes. So there is some bit of law. Although a proper lawmaker should be the best to argue out making and enacting or amending laws.
Totally.
Then too, we are talking about making and verifying, passing the budget. Can you imagine? Someone has never seen even 20 million, 50 million, and is coming to discuss trillions of money and how they are to be spent. They are technical languages or terms in the parliament or in the budget. Can you imagine someone...
Is it about figures or priority? Because do I need to have seen $1 billion shillings to know that we need more money in agriculture as a backbone of our economy?
Yes.
Or we need more money in education because we have children that need to go to school? Do I need to have first seen trillions of money?
Yes.
Really?
I'm telling you, you cannot discuss or talk about what you are not part of.
No.
There's no way you can talk about the economy when yourself you're not economically uplifted. What are you talking about? There are so many people. We are saying among the qualities of an MP, we are saying he should, at least what he should present is a certificate of tax clearance. Show us, sure, they've been paying taxes.
How do you relate that to leadership and ability to legislate?
First of all, to lead, you should live by example. You should live what you are even living. You should tell or even lead what you are living. You cannot talk about something you are not part of. We are talking about cars. You have no car. Do you know even what oil goes into a car? We are saying a member of parliament should have a minimum balance on his account, 500 million. You know, at least you have not come for
How many people are those in an economy that is 46 trillion?
There are so many. And we are saying leadership is not for everybody. Some of the people have to be led.
Kampala Central. Flooding, not only in the business central district, but the areas of Kamwocha and other areas. Flooding, a lot of young people that do not have jobs, insecurity in some areas, being the biggest pocket of crime in the country, being the center of business in the country, and all those challenges, slums. That is the kind of area you want to represent in parliament. What kind of idea do you have, and how do you think you are going to transform or contribute to the transformation of that kind of an area?
First of all,
with that image.
yes, we have what we call micro and macro thinking in representation. In the event I'm elected as a member of parliament,
Yes.
the biggest role is to think on a macro level. That is to think for the entire country. An MP, much as is representing your constituency, but is an MP to make laws and policies that govern the entire country. So I'm not going to represent Kamocha only. And two, people need to understand on a micro level, what comes from the national planning on a macro level has to be disseminated into the lowest levels of government. People tend to forget that government operates on a budget. There's an income, an estimate, and even so many other things. And we are saying it is very simple. In management and budgeting for this country, we should cut the exorbitant, unrealistic, uncalled for expenditures that surely should be reserved for development expenditure. We are saying so many people, and even whom you call elites, they don't know that in this past budget approved for 72 trillion,
Yes.
it is only 38 trillion that is allocated for at least recurrent expenditure. Recurrent expenditure means expenses on salaries, wages, and luxuries of these civil servants who are not even making 700,000 people compared to the entire population of 50 million. But development is only allocated only 18 trillion. Then it debts 17 trillion. We are saying Uganda borrows even what doesn't seem to be necessary. There are so many loans that are obtained, and even they are not properly used. Some money is even borrowed and it's not used, yet we are paying a lot of commitment fees, trillions of money. We are saying delayed projects, they are as a result of misperformance of fellow Ugandans who are given responsibilities and tend to surely grab and not do the right thing and swindle this money. We are saying there are so much more how government loses money, for example, in unrealistic tax exemptions and holidays to able companies which should be paying taxes. In
Totally
just
agree.
5 years,
Yes.
development plan, we lost over 15 trillion. Enough to build roads, enough to build schools, and so much more. We are saying we must reduce on the privileges given to civil service people. Can you imagine? There are so many and a lot of allowances given to civil servants, including MPs, even those of opposition. We are also saying, please, we need to reduce on the number of MPs and civil servants. Some of them are unrealistic, especially on the MPs, and they take a lot of money. When you look at the budget of the parliament, it's so much big
900 billion.
that it is like unbelievable. When you look at Canada, one of the biggest economies, it has 2.2 trillion and above GDP, but they're only having around 315 MPs.
Yes.
Uganda, which is only has at least 53 billion. 53 billion. It has over 600 MPs almost. We are saying, even within this narrative of the NRM, saying gender balance and whatever, bringing and at least assigning every district to have a woman district woman MP, I believe it's unnecessary.
So
Since when have women have ever represented fellow women and brought stringent ideas that have been uplifting the livelihoods of women? We know what women all
Go
this
through in
around,
Uganda.
yes, whether Scotty, Jew or whatever, we are all concerned, we know. Two, there are other special purpose, at least groups, like people with disabilities, workers' unions, the army. You don't have all to be represented in parliament. We need to reduce the parliament to 80 MPs. After all, they are busy arguing. Many of them don't know even what to do. Ministers, we don't need 80 MPs plus. We only need at least 50. And we should make sure they are empowered to do the supervision role they are supposed to do. Equally, we are saying there are so many privileges given and allowances to these civil servants. So we find that we lose a lot of money in unnecessary spending. When you look at this budget for the year 2025, 2026, development is only allocated 9%. 41% on procurements that are unrealistic. Then you find that 38% is on servicing loans, not even paying loans.
So how do you relate this to your Kampala Central, and how do you come in now as Abraham Luzi?
We said everything needs an overhaul, and we are saying for Kampala and many other parts of the country, if we don't have enough money as government, definitely we cannot at least bring service delivery to the people.
Yes.
We are showing you in this budget is only 9% that is allocated for development for the entire country, 50 million people. All the money is spent on realistic purchases and procurements, or even servicing loans that we don't know even how this money was used. A lot of it is swindled. So as Kampala, don't expect me to do miracles. I am not your father to do miracles. Your government, we are saying...
No, you want to represent us.
Yes, as long
you
as
have
you
to be
accept.
the loudspeaker to take this voice.
I don't have to be a loudspeaker. I'm not a nganga.
No.
I have just to use logic, put everything to table for you Ugandans.
No, you choose the measure, but of course for us, for you, as the voter in Kampala Central, our questions will come to you. You either choose to be a nganga or use logic.
I don't want anybody to come to me to accuse me or ask me of anything. I am not the perpetrator of whatever that is wrong you see. Blame your leaders. Even at this level, we are saying you are bringing gullible leaders that are not going to represent the true interest of representation of this country. That's why we are saying the country only works in budget. We have no money. There's no money to accredit Kampala a special status, to have a lot of funding, to be at a level of a capital city, a business hub. We need at least money to work on the potholes, to enlarge some of these roads, the traffic to be at least better. We are saying, we are wondering what all those leaders have been doing. We have only one route that exits and inland to Uganda. That is the Mukono-Jinja Highway. There is a lot of traffic in Mukono. And so many people have been quiet about this. So much of the stuff and luggage and the goods are stuck always in Mukono. We are wondering, what have you been doing? There must have been an emergency. You must improve on the infrastructure of the roads where, what matters especially to fellow Ugandans who do business. So we are saying, we are going to bring an overhaul. We are going to turn the informal sector into a formal one. Every business must be registered and pay tax by IFRIS. However, fellow Ugandans would love to pay taxes, but a lot of money is swindled and taken by a few Ugandans.
The area you want to represent is the heart of business in the country.
Yes.
People complain, you see, they are closing shops like twice a year, 3 times a year, complaining about taxes, unfair taxes, landlords, and all that. This is the area that you want to represent. What kind of solutions would you suggest for such problems?
I've been agitating and pronouncing myself on this economy. I saw one big guy earlier on saying, the economy is sweet. Me, I'm saying it is swa. I object to that. Simply because when you look at the figures, many of it or a lot of it is fictitious. When you look at the statistics in planning for this country, even the census, whoever was given that responsibility has let us down. The entire country is actually upside down. We are telling Mr. Museveni and our brother, our father, our Jaja, you are losing a lot of good information. People are lying to you. We are saying the reason why we are coming to Parliament is to assist you, to tell you the truth, but respectfully. I object to people who tell him in a very disrespectful manner. We are saying we are your children, you have educated people. This is the time to embrace certain measures that are going to at least to build from the foundation you've made. Can you imagine, I did a research that is practical, that I'm part of it. A lot of businesses in Uganda don't make profit. I'm telling you. A lot of businesses here, they only survive by evading tax and avoiding tax. Can you imagine? 2, a lot of businesses, they are not performing well. They simply at least benefit from at least evading and cheating bills like electricity. A lot of electricity is lost. And we are saying this is the time where we need Ugandans to rise up and be represented by sober people. The people you have in, they are not business people. Many of them cheat, swindle money, and they know how to spend. They overspend. There's a lot of inflation. We are saying a lot of governments, they change, or I mean traders, they only survive by at least changing weights. So many weights here, they are not of serious calibration. Can you imagine? That's the only way people can survive, by making profits. Others, they compromise quality.
You are a business person yourself.
Yes, there are a lot of fake.
Have you dodged taxes before?
Of course. I am an invader in one way or another that I think is smart, and that's why I'm saying it should stop. And many of you who are watching me, you are invaders. Everybody is a cheat.
Okay.
Even now, I am planning to steal and even evade, play around with electricity. I have a factory, but when I use 20 million capital to, for example, do the maize milling, can you imagine you find that the electricity bill comes when it is 17 million? And we are wondering who is playing with these calibrations, who is cheating Ugandans. There is no business that is making profit in Uganda. Your Excellency, if people are not telling you the truth, everybody survives by cheating. No legitimate profits here. 2, you have brought the element of having investors to come here. Many of them take advantage of our population. The advantages they told you that they were bringing to Ugandans, giving jobs, whatever. There's no minimum wage. We must agitate for a minimum wage where fellow Ugandans who are educated are given responsibilities in their acts of work and equivocably given their salary or wages relative to their education. You find that everybody in Uganda who is employing our Ugandans, they are taking advantage of them. I'm telling you the truth. So we are saying we need to do an overhaul in everything. And we are saying it is under the law. That's why I'm saying I'm standing as an MP to make these amendments, improve on the existing laws, and we make sure we pass those ones that are missing. It will trickle down
to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
And lastly, we are saying this is the time where we want to sensitize everybody that even if you are elected as an MP from the NRM, much as you are the majority, this is the time to do the right thing. So many people pass laws that they think they chant and praise or worship Mr. Museveni, but at the end they are crippling themselves and their voters at the end of the day. At the end, we are saying, government, you are losing a lot of taxes. 99% tax is lost. When it is, you are lied to, Mr. Government, that when you put so much tax on a given item, you are collecting more. Instead, you are making people to evade tax
killing
and
business.
lose a lot. For example, there are so many cars that are brought CIF, cost insurance and freight, from Japan to Uganda, and the cost is 5 million. But you find that the tax is 25 million. You are even getting money more than what the manufacturer is getting. Who are you?
Products.
Nonsense. So we are saying the president and this country, via parliament, they should know that we should pass a law that every invoice should not go beyond 30%. And you will see that people are paying tax when they are willing, and you collect enough. 2, spending that money. We are saying government should limit the excessive expenditure. These procurements, like we are saying any civil servant, even if you are an MP, no need of buying you or having your vehicle grant of 200 million. No. Every MP, minister, everybody should come with his own car. You should be given a salary that is enough to buy your own car and fuel. How you come to work is your business. You should get it from your salary. There is no need of escorts. If at all this country is safe, why do you have escorts everywhere? It is only the personality of the president who should have a right of way and even such privilege of escorts and whatever. All these judicial officers, if surely you are making these judgments and proceedings properly, what are you hiding by having all these people? The same with ministers. If you're not swindling government's money, why are you running, looking, even fearing your own shadows? All these procurements, when we save them, when we keep them away, we'll have enough money to at least transform Kampala and the country. You asked me about the slums. I am a seasoned politician. We don't need slums in the city. We are going to erode all this nonsense in the city, bring companies that are going to build estates, and relocate our citizens in a respectful manner. We are going to bring a reform in at least house and urbanization of this city and the entire country. We should say no where houses or shelters are not supposed to be. We should adopt from all these benchmark towns around the world.
Some of the things you say, Lucy, can you accomplish them as an MP in 5 years?
First of all, like I said, it is the responsibility of every Ugandan in at least having a mindset.
Both in terms of applicability and capacity to accomplish it.
And change or develop this country. It begins with me, with you. Everybody has a responsibility to do or carry on in developing this country. Some of these reforms, they delayed long way back.
You're talking of an overhaul.
Yes.
Do you know what it would take to overhaul the system of the country?
Yes. Overhauling means starting with you. The people have to change. You yourself, you have to change how you do and carry yourself. Overhauling doesn't mean that we are going to turn cups upside down. No.
What does it mean? It
means changing the mindset of people. And once you've had this message, like for example, the reforms of saying every government employee, all your children must be educated in UPE. If it is a law and it is passed, Unless you want to leave this job, you either do it or no. That's the overhaul, kind of that immediate solution. This way people are going to begin to think about improving these schools. Because their children are working or studying from there. You understand? We are saying no more taking people to Nairobi, Aga Khan. No way. America, no way. Every government employee must, at their cost, take themselves abroad, but they should be treated locally here. So that they are going now to think about paying properly a doctor, a medical personnel. We should build more mulagos, not these crowded Chirudus nonsense. Where do you get these benchmarks of hospitals we are having? What is annoying is the cost of building a Chirudu is the same cost of building that Mulago, beautiful one.
Do you know the backlash you will get from the...
Taking care of myself, or even representing you. My work is in Parliament. And I'm supposed to argue out, do a lot of research. My business is in Parliament. That idea of saying I have to be on ground and mingling and rubbing shoulders with everyone, that's complete nonsense, and it has saved a lot of this government or this institution of good leaders. You don't gauge a leader by connecting with him unless we are doing business. You see, now I'm a businessman. I welcome everybody walking and walking out clients. But for leadership, you don't have to see me. You don't have to shake hands with me. After all, I know you want to do second. You don't have to meet me all the time. Don't come to my home, line up and waiting for me to solve your problems, the widows or orphans. After all, I don't know what killed your husbands. I am saying, simple. Take what I am bringing on table in respect of changing at least and in nominating all those avenues that we think can change the narrative and livelihoods of our people. We are saying say no to corruption. I want to pledge to fellow Ugandans. You don't have to vote for me simply because I have talked well or bad against Mr. Museveni or Mr. Kyagulanyi. No, vote me on merit. And again, whoever thinks that I will worship any leader in at least doing or trying to improve the performance of our governments, I am not a yes man. Even if you give me a responsibility today, you can chase me in just 1 month, simply because I will object on anything, or I will object to anything that is against the principles of truth, honesty, realistic, and even patriotic nature of governance, especially and saving of our people. I want people to understand that I will criticize positively, with respect, anybody who does something wrong. That's why I'm saying opposition, they should wake up. They should know that they have no alternative government. We are having one government. You should negotiate with it. After all, they are the mandated people to serve and have the budget. Instead of concentrating on those responsibilities of being a mirror to government and improve here and there, they're simply abusing and insulting the personality of the president and the government. And you, Mr. Government, we are saying you are lowering yourself to the lowest core. How do you tell us mistreating people, wasting our time, and taking small concerns, especially the army and these institutions, like security institutions? You harass people unnecessarily. Don't forget these are your sons. These are your children. These are your brothers. You are being unprofessional. Like last time I saw the continued arrest of this fake parade for these young men and women. You are trying to show us that you are not credible enough to know what is the gist of all that. People are playing. People are joking. These are youth. Call them. After all, we don't mind whether you do those fake parade or what. You cannot arrest people for all this time against nonsense. Yes, you have the power. You have the responsibility. But trade favorably. You need everybody. When you are government, you need the opposition. You can't lead NRM people alone. Make sure you bring these people in dialogue. Engage them.
In all your agendas, you say, we are going to overhaul. We shall bring a bill. We want. We are going. We. Are you Lucy Abraham on your own? Or behind you, there is a force we may not easily see?
Behind me is you and you, the fellow Ugandans, and the mandate you are going to give us. In the event I'm elected, I am going to make sure I recruit and sensitize all our MPs, those that shall be elected, to make sure any of these amendments and reforms we need, they are not even discussed, but they are late. They should be just adopted. Lastly, to Mr. Museveni, you are so kind to the extent that you have laid certain acts walk into this country. Many people worship you only. Please make sure you chase whoever worships you and doesn't tell you the truth. And lastly, again, we are saying this is the time, the retirement package you can give to Ugandans is to think about succession. We have been hearing of Mr. Muhoozi coming. He only peeps and goes back. Let these children of yours, they are children of our generation, help you, give them responsibility. Stop electing people who are poor. They come and play around and want to change their lives. At least this time round, elect leaders not based on political chants, ideologies, or colors. When you see an NRM person, good, choose and elect. When you see a new good leader, elect. If you see either of them not suitable, please, please.
Happy New Year.
UBC Inspire.
Still, it is the 2nd of January 2026. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Straight away into the bulletin. President Yoweri Museveni, who is also the NRM presidential candidate, has assured residents of Kayunga district that no one has the powers to evict them from their land, especially from absentee landlords, commonly known as Bibanja owners. He tasked the NRM leaders to intervene and help sensitize locals on land laws, saying this would help in fighting land wrangles in the country, accusing Mukono MP Betty Namboze of misleading the people.
The NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni, alongside the First Lady Janet Kataha Museveni, has continued his